in the number 47 truck.
So Troy Wheeler's truck looks all right out there at the moment as he hits the trigger as he pulls onto the back straight. As we mentioned earlier, these trucks are limited to 160 kilometres an hour in a straight line. So they do get there very, very quickly with the huge amount of horsepower and torque that those big diesel engines put out. And once they get to 160k, they just get their sandwich out and chew on that, or probably more a pie, I suppose, being a truckie, aren't they? Finish their pie before they get to John Jones Steel.
I don't know, Brendan. A lot of them these days are eating all the healthy stuff. A lot of them workplace get them to try and eat healthy. Bit of cement dust up on the outside of the track up there, by the looks of it. Shane Gray just putting a wheel off there. It's a 20-minute session for the super trucks.
So we might see them popping in and out of the pits a couple of times just to get the ultimate setup, dealing with the temperature that we have today.
First man across the line underway is Malcolm Riddle. Shane Gray tucked in behind him. Bit of a rear brake lock up for him. But, nonetheless, Troy Wheeler just cruising through. Obviously checking a few of the systems that they might have been working on. Alex Little, truck number 14. Dave West in the 26 truck. And then Gary Price, truck number 47. Been around for a long time, that old truck. And Gary's got a pretty good handle on it by now. In fact, took out the Jim Thickett Memorial last year, which is the last race of the weekend for the super trucks.
He was a very happy man when he won that.
Certainly was, and I think it might have been a big night or two afterwards.
Yeah.
Of course, Jimmy Thickett was a huge motorsport fan and supporter of the South Canterbury Car Club. Was out here at every event I could remember for many, many years, helping us out with the Hilton Haulage truck.
The Hiab. All round hard case and good bloke too.
Yeah, and our life's good buggers.
So first lap on the board for Malcolm Riddle. Let's see what he does. At 21.7. Shane Gray at 22.2. Just locking those rears up, Shane Gray. So obviously got the bias towards the rear. Probably just a wee bit too much. Or perhaps that's just going down through the gears.
So Alex Little crosses the line on a 1:19.6.
Look how much lower that truck of Shane Gray sits on the track. A lot lower than the previous truck that he did race.
Even the cab looks lower too.
So we've still got the truck of Troy Wheeler, truck 1, is just circulating very, very slowly. As we mentioned, Troy didn't finish a single lap in the scrub session at the beginning of the day. So hopefully whatever issue they have with that truck they can get sorted.
Well, Gary Price getting all out of shape as he gets the power down in the 47. And gets it up there at 100 miles an hour mark, pretty much halfway down the back straight. A few red lights on the dash.
Yeah, you could see that
Troy
quite
Wheeler's
clearly,
truck.
couldn't you, into truck 1? There is some big red light flashing on the dash.
That might be the sandwich light when you hit the 100 mile an hour mark.
Yeah. Well, Pye is ready. Oh, bit of a twitch coming onto the front straight. Truck 66.
Malcolm Riddle goes a bit quicker, a 19.6 this time. He's got 1.5 seconds. So it's Alex Little. Yeah, Alex Little to the top. Here he comes again. Reel off another one. Goes a wee bit faster, a 19.65. So Alex Little, the man to beat. 1.5 seconds back to his father, Malcolm.
There's Dave West, goes through a little bit slower that time, a 1:23.2 for Dave, so sitting 4th fastest.
Troy Wheeler speeding up.
Yeah, looks like he's on a lap this time. Oh, a bit of chatter on the front brakes there as he goes across the start-finish line. Still going as it goes down into Parenco. A lot of jumping up and down of the front tyres there.
So is it the tyres or is it just the centres, the caps, wheel covers not on straight?
It looked like the front hub and tyre to me.
Yeah, the guards and everything were shaken then, Brendan. I imagine she'd be pretty...
Your vision will be a bit blurry, you think?
I would say, be hanging on for dear life. You're rattling the eyes out. You can see he's slowing down.
Yeah, he's backed out now. Almost look like brake disc problems or something like that.
Yeah, he's just checking it. That these things are notorious for cracking rotors, so and they tend to explode pretty good sometimes too.
A lot of energy going through them when you're trying to stop 5 tonne from 160k. Here's the 66 truck. Malcolm Little.
Doesn't go any quicker at 21.1. Still second for him. Shane Gray though, he goes quicker at 22.0. Sitting in third place, Shane Gray. Here comes Alex Little, fastest man so far. Doesn't go any faster that time at 24.8. So they're well spread out. Dave West out in a wee wheel of his own in truck 26, and he goes quicker at 22.9, stays fourth. Gary Price is the man that's got a bit of work to do. 24.5, his quickest. And just goes through at a 24.7, so still trying to find his mojo in truck number 47, Gary Price.
So the 5 truck of Shane Gray, if that's a significant departure and development from the previous truck they're racing, it is going to take them a wee while to get the sweet spot out of that truck. But hopefully they...
I think it's like anything, Brendan.
Bit of development to start with.
Not many teams would, as we see Troy Wheeler coming into the pits, not many teams would build a fast dares race, anything straight out of the box. There's always a bit of development goes on, and these things here, you know, like the
Years sometimes.
years. As I was saying, they put 15 years of what they've learnt into this new truck of Shane Gray's.
So Malcolm Little and Shane Gray crossed the line, not going any faster. So the fastest so far is a 121.1 from Malcolm Little, putting him in second, and Shane Gray's a 122.0, putting him in third in truck 5.
So Alex Little, it is still 30 minutes left in the session. So I see they've got the hood up of Troy Wheeler's truck out in the back of the pit area. Just having a wee look there, see if they can get him back out there. Still plenty of time, get a lap in. A 125.9 so far from Troy, which as we know is a long way off where he should be.
So 47 truck of Gary Price goes a wee bit quicker, 123.6.
Getting a fair bit of understeer out through Parenco, there he was. And also coming out, you see him get him all crossed up coming out of Castrol. Pity there's no crowd here, Brendan. They love seeing that sort of carry on when one of these super trucks going sideways. Dave West slowing down the back straight too. And I'm guessing in a couple of laps once again, halfway off the session, we should see some of these trucks come in.
Bit of a tinker, then get back out there once again. So Malcolm Little crosses the line again, a 122.0, so still no faster, although Shane Gray does go faster on a 121.9. Still in third place, however. 119.6, so Alex Little has got the taps turned on. Faster for Alex in truck 14.
Certainly
Slowly
has.
bringing it down.
He was a little bit twitchy coming onto the front straight through the kink there. Obviously giving it a good nudge.
So at the moment, Alex has 1.5 seconds over Dad Malcolm in the 66 truck.
Once the limiters kick in, they sound like they're doing all sorts of carry-on, missing and backfiring and all the carry-on, but still doing 100 miles an hour. Here comes West. Looks like he's eyeing up a hot lap. He had a slow lap previous.
So the best so far for Dave West is a 122.9, fourth spot in truck 26.
Gary Price just going through slowly too, trying to cool things off.
So Shane Gray looks like he's taking a wider line out the top out there in the grass.
Malcolm Little still trying hard. It was multiple New Zealand Super Truck champion Malcolm Little. Done plenty of laps around here. This is Shane Gray.
Yeah, no faster for Malcolm or Shane. And a little bit slower for Alex on a 119.656. Best so far, 119.620 for Alex, putting him at the top of the table. Just under 10.5 minutes left to go in the qualifying session for the Super Trucks.
Gary Price still continuing around at a slow pace.
Sitting on the inside of the circuit allowing the little and grey trucks to go past unimpeded.
Talking about those limiters, Paul, they kick in pretty much out in front of the commentary box here, or maybe just slightly past, which is about 250 metres past Castrol. So the rest of the straight is on the limiter. It just shows how quickly they get there.
Okay, so Dave West did go a little bit faster, 1:22.7 for Dave. Still sitting in 4th place in truck 26.
Yeah, he's got a wee bit of work to do, just about another second to find to catch up to Shane Gray. But yeah, you did right, B2. These trucks hitting the limiters halfway down the back straight, as I said previous. There'd be a lot of race cars wouldn't even hit 100 mile an hour halfway down the back straight levels. You go Shane Gray down the front straight, just taking it nice and easy at the moment. Bit of steam coming off
out from behind the cab.
From behind the cab.
So hopefully nothing important. Do they run water-cooled brakes in these vehicles?
Some of them do, some of them don't. There used to be a big thing years ago when they all had them, but I'm not too sure if they are now or not. I think they still would be. You certainly don't see a lot of spray coming off the front like you used to. But
It evaporates pretty quick.
So we've got the 47 truck of Gary Price also coming into the pits.
She's pretty quiet stuff out there at the moment. Still got 8.5 minutes left of the session.
So it looks like Dave West, the only one doing a hot lap at the moment.
Here he goes through. He doesn't go any faster. He does a 23. So it's Alex Little at once. 1:19.6. Last year's time in qualifying for the Super Trucks, 1:19.4. So a couple of tenths behind last year.
We've got Gary Price just sitting at the pit entry there with his door open. He's actually on the grass.
You're not too sure if he's got an issue there or not, or... And Shane Gray just going at walking pace coming into the hairpin there, just letting one of the little trucks through.
Bit of an oxymoron, isn't it? A little truck. We've got 2 little trucks here today, actually.
This one would be Alex, it is, number 14.
So he has been the fastest so far. So just starting another hot lap for Alex midway through the session.
Shane Gray into the pits as well. And the number 5 truck. He's coming to the pit lane though, not out the back like the other 2 trucks have gone.
So Dave West reels off another 1:23.
No, he's heading out the back, Paul.
Heading out the back. Just have a look at that as it goes past us. How immaculate that truck is.
Yeah, that bit of smoke or steam that was coming out from the back of the cab seems to have stopped after those couple of cool-down laps.
As Paul says, very smart-looking machine. The number 5 Kenworth of Shane Gray from Wellington. Let's see what Alex and Malcolm Little can do in truck 14 and truck 66. Here we go, Alex Little, fastest lap, 1:19.176. Now 2 seconds faster than truck 66, which is Malcolm Little. About to cross the line. (1:21.9) for Malcolm, so that's not his fastest lap. 1:21.195 is the fastest for truck 66. 5.5 minutes left to go in the qualifying session. So Troy Wheeler's truck, truck 1, looks like it's moving back out onto the circuit.
Yeah, 1:25 his fastest so far. He's come back in for a bit of work on the truck. They're going to send him back out there now with about 7 minutes left. How much time's left there, Brendan?
Just over 5 left to go.
Troy Wheeler heads back out onto the track.
So Troy Wheeler goes out in anger.
All of these trucks bar one out of the North Island as well, so a huge thanks to them for bringing this